If I were to simplify human motivation into two archetypes, I would label them the artist and the entrepreneur. The artist wants nothing more than to make art for the rest of their life and is driven by that passion. The entrepreneur, on the other hand, wants to make money and be successful. To break it down to even simpler terms, an artist is obsessed with the process and the entrepreneur is obsessed with the end result. Journey versus destination. You guys have all heard this stuff before, I'm sure, but if you're a dedicated fan of the Warriors series like I am, then you've also read about it somewhere. Specifically, this classic struggle between craft and cash appears in the 4th chapter of the site. Hollykit has just seen her brother on the verge of death and goes to visit him in the medicine cat den. Upon arriving, she observes Leafpool in action and has a very strange impression of what she does. Having so much knowledge must make her feel very powerful. Imagine being that important to the clan. Definitely being a kid plays into this, but I can't help but feel this is a very anti-hero way of looking at things. Sure, being a medicine cat would be a good thing, but Hollykit's motivations are all wrong. This thought process builds on top of her previous declaration in the book about how she and her brothers are going to be a big deal. Right off the bat in this series, Erin Hunter is establishing Hollykit's core motivation. She craves a role of importance. She wants to be doing something valuable. There's something unsettling about the way in which Hollykit thinks, and I can't help but think that the nature of her desires is the very reason for her eventual downfall. To really drive home why this behavior is odd, especially for a medicine cat, let's compare Hollykit to Leafpool for a moment. In Secrets of the Clans, Leafpool describes her own motivation for deciding to become a medicine cat. I knew I wanted to be a medicine cat from the time I was a small kid. I watched Cinderpelt taking care of sick cats and checking on my mother in the nursery. I wanted to be that gentle, kind, and intelligent. I wanted to know how to heal and read signs from StarClan. I couldn't imagine anything more important. So, your first reaction to this might be confusion, since Leafpool's final sentence is almost identical to Hollykit's. They also make note of all the same things that make up a medicine cat's job. Doesn't that make them the same? The difference here is subtle, but very important. Leafpool sees Cinderpelt doing all of these things and thinks, wow, that looks awesome. I want to do that. It seems really important. By contrast, Hollykit thinks this. If Hollykit wanted to be important to her clan, perhaps becoming a medicine cat was the way to do it. Let's break down the difference. Leafpool sees something that she really wants to do and then concludes that it's important. Hollykit sees something that's important and then decides that perhaps it's something she wants to do. Leafpool is in it to be gentle, kind, and intelligent, while Hollykit wants to be in it to be important. Do you see what I'm saying? With Leafpool, she's driven by a passion for the actual job of a medicine cat while also acknowledging the importance of it. The reason Hollykit ultimately fails at being a medicine cat is because her priorities are backwards. She's driven by the status of the job without really having the operational passion that a natural like Leafpool has. It's no fault of her own, it's just who she is. This early conflict interests me for two reasons. One, it kind of foreshadows Hollyleaf's eventual fall from grace at the end of the series. This chapter shows her desperate to find something to cling to, something greater she can identify with and use to define herself. The warrior code is eventually the thing that fills this desire, and she embraces it religiously. She becomes the great defender of this moral code and takes pride in that task. As a result, it's no surprise that when she finds out that she herself is a living contradiction of the warrior code, she becomes once again hopelessly lost. She can't even live with herself knowing that she has betrayed the principles that she's dedicated her life to. Hollyleaf has the discipline and the passion to excel at things, but Destiny, both with her desire to be a medicine cat and later on with the warrior code, is responsible for her failures and ultimate destruction. Another reason I find this scene particularly interesting is because I can directly relate it to my own life. I definitely find myself relating to Leafpool in this situation because the things that we've dedicated our lives to have both come out of an inescapable desire to do so. I've been obsessed with being a writer or a commentator or some sort of entertainer forever, and the thought of doing anything else is unthinkable to me. Even when I went almost a year with little growth on my YouTube channel, I never once seriously considered stopping it. If anything, it just motivated me to work and think harder about ways to make it work, because my motivation has never really been about success. It's really just I want to do what I do because I have to. I can't even say that it's always fun, but I can't imagine a world in which I'm not doing something like this. I've had several friends approach me about working with me or doing something like what I do, and most of the time I can't help but feel like I'm Leafpool humoring humoring people who want to be more important or want the end product without really wanting the job that goes along with it. So you could take a moral from this and say, pursue your passion, and I could tell all of you Hollyleafs out there that that's what you should do. Go and find your true passion and then you'll be happy forever. But even Warriors tells us that life's never that simple. Both Leafpool and Hollyleaf show us that even our greatest desires can be full of contradictions. So maybe it's safer just being normal. But then again, what fun is that?